In this lesson, we will prepare for takeoff and make a first flight. Remember that you can restart the lesson by pressing left shift plus R. You can also skip the remaining steps of the tutorial at any time by pressing backslash on the keyboard, then select F10, then skip tutorial option. Press the spacebar to continue. On the keyboard, press right control plus enter. This will bring up the control display in the bottom left corner. It displays the position of the flight controls, marked with red color. Gameplay note: you might need to calibrate your devices or verify a helicopter is operated using a cyclic stick, a collective lever, and anti-torque pedals. The cyclic stick, commonly referred to as the cyclic, is located between the pilot's legs. It manipulates the main rotor, altering the aircraft's movement direction. Specifically, in a hover, it can slide the helicopter left, right, or forward and backward. In forward flight, banking left or right alters the flight path, while pitching up or down affects both the speed and altitude, assuming no adjustments in power are made. Press the spacebar to The collective is the lever located on your left side. It adjusts the pitch angle of all the main rotor blades collectively, influencing the lift generated by the main rotor. This mechanism is utilized to alter both altitude and speed. The anti-torque pedals, simply known as pedals, are operated by the pilot's feet. They govern the tail rotor, which maintains the helicopter's direction and rate of turn. Press the spacebar to continue. The MFD displays the VSD, Vertical Situation Display, which is the primary flight display. The VSD page shows speed as indicated airspeed in knots, barometric altitude in feet, altitude above sea level, radar altitude in feet, altitude above ground level, helicopter attitude, pitch and roll and slip indicators. Although the helicopter is stationary, the indicated speed is above zero due to the relative wind being detected by the pitot dynamic system. Instructor note: the VSD hover pages are accessible by pressing the Display Select Left on the pilot cyclic. The hover page, while useful during hover maneuvers, is not included in this lesson. Press the spacebar to continue. We will prepare the flight controls for a hover takeoff. Move your stick left and aft. Press the force trim button to save that position and release your stick to its neutral position. The helicopter stick should now hold the trimmed position while your stick should be in the neutral position. Move your pedals to the left. Compare the positions with the image on the top left. Instructor note: the trim position for takeoff may vary depending on weight and/or weather conditions. Press the spacebar to continue. We're going to bring the aircraft to a stabilized hover. Control heading, direction of turn, and rate of turn with the pedals. Control altitude, rate of ascent, and rate of descent with the collective. Control position and direction of movement with the cyclic. Take off to a hover. With the collective full down, place the cyclic in a neutral position. Increase the collective until the aircraft becomes light on the skids. Apply pressure and counter pressure on the pedals to ensure the aircraft is free to ascend. Apply pedals as necessary to maintain heading and coordinate the cyclic for a vertical ascent. As the aircraft leaves the ground, check for proper control response and aircraft center of gravity. Upon reaching the desired hover altitude, adjust the flight controls to maintain position over the intended hover point. Hovering flight. Adjust the cyclic to maintain a stationary hover or to move in the desired direction. Control heading with pedals and maintain altitude with the collective. Maintain a constant hover speed. To return to a stationary hover, apply the cyclic in the opposite direction while maintaining altitude with collective and heading with the pedals. For now, just try to lift off for a second, then slowly lower the collective to land. Instructor note: the force trim position does not affect the feel of the aircraft in flight if you do not have a force feedback controller. Force trim can be used to hold the control position of the cyclic in the desired position in-game. Note: the collective and pedals do not have a force trim hold. Press the spacebar to continue. To transition into forward flight, push the stick forward to increase speed, while simultaneously adjusting the power with the collective to maintain altitude as desired. Periodically trimming the stick position with force trim may allow easier control of the helicopter according to individual preference. To initiate a landing from forward flight, gradually decrease speed by pulling the cyclic aft and lowering power with the collective to stay at the same altitude. Set a decelerative attitude and reduce power to begin the approach. As you slow down to 30 to 25 knots, which is known as translational lift, monitor the descent rate and use the collective to control the vertical speed and approach angle. Instructor note: below effective translational lift, ETL, expect to need more power to maintain the approach angle. Control the approach angle with collective and slowly descend until the helicopter lands. Once the aircraft's full weight is on the ground, center the pedals and cyclic and lower the collective all the way down. This lesson is over. Press the space bar to remove this message. You can exit this lesson now by pressing Escape. To restart this lesson, press left shift plus R.